Because let me tell you, my best friend Shauna and I, we were both got together.
Oh my God.
And we made a pact to each other when we were 15 that if one of us became a vampire, we had to change the other one. Like the sincerest pact.
Oh my God, you were so fucked up.
Hi, I'm Dr. Drew, and this is Dr. Drew After Dark. Please be advised that Dr. Drew After Dark may contain sexually oriented content and be unsuitable for young children.
Hey everybody, welcome to Dr. After Dark. Don't forget the voice messages. You can find us at 818-253-1693. And of course, we've got tons of emails today I want to get to at drdrewafterdark@gmail.com. And don't forget merchmethod.com. There it is.
There it is.
Well, it's Christina P, of course. Christina P, the main man mom. What do they call you?
I'm Mixed Master Mom.
Mixed Master Mom.
Because of my Adidas gear. The guys were calling me.
So, anal, and of course, anal starts at 50. Men's black tea. How come it's not a female tab black tea?
Well, not a lot of ladies buying anal starts at 50. You'd be surprised.
That's shocking. Well, let's not forget it was a lady that came up with that term. Two ladies, in fact. So I'm just saying, who do I hang around with?
I am so. How is the life, the sexual life? How are we doing?
It's been off a little bit, interestingly.
What?
I don't know quite, because her pellets wore off. And that's she takes hormone replacement.
Correct.
Stuff.
That's how she got to anal at 50.
That's right. And then if it goes down, it really just evaporates.
So why is she off her stuff?
It's the COVID. How you have to get in there and get things replaced and stuff.
Gotcha.
And we just never got our rhythm back. We're close. We're good.
You're almost there? Okay.
Yeah, we're good. We're getting. It's on its way back. We've been traveling.
But that's even better for sexy times is a hotel sexual.
Yeah, we were at friends' houses and we were at our condo and stuff. And so, but we did okay. I know you'll be happy.
I can't wait to get on testosterone, apparently.
It's pretty
She
insane.
looks great.
Yeah.
I mean, she's lean and mean and a horny machine. That's what I want.
That'll be you.
Yeah, dude. I can't wait. Ugh.
But we were traveling.
And I'm so happy for you.
And it made all the difference in the world.
How do you feel? Tell me everything.
So much better. Okay, so California is a shithole.
It is. It's going to hell in a handbasket.
You go around the country, and this is worse than anything by a long. I'm not kidding you.
No,
I kid you not. You go to New York. And it's weird. It's a ghost town. It's very weird. It's like walking around the pyramids going, there used to be a civilization here. And then they abandoned it one day. It's that
bad.
It's empty. But the people that are there are going about their business. And you can walk into any restaurant. Restaurants are all out on the street, right? They're doing that outdoor dining thing. And they're like walk into nice restaurants and just you can walk in because there's nobody there. It's scary to think what's going to happen. I don't know quite how we get out of this because the constructions are continuing, because they always had those things contracted. And so these gigantic buildings are being built and I don't know who's going to be in them. So that will be interesting. And the government is sort of encouraging people to come back and socially, let's get going. Let's get it going. Opposite of here, where they're threatening you every day with Garcetti's little yellow. Have you seen the little dial he has? He has this crazy fucking dial. It's orange. It's orange, people. With the salons are just an example. You're next. We're going to shut you down. We're going to shut you down.
This is like after 9/11. Remember, they had the meter, the threat meter too.
Yes. There it is.
There we go.
There it is. Minimize all contact. High risk. This is insane. So, by the way, I've traveled multiple states.
Yeah.
Masks work, distancing works.
Okay.
Nobody gets sick on planes. So
let's talk about that
because the flight attendants don't know anybody who gets sick. They just don't.
So
Pilots
hold on.
Don't get sick.
Do you wear an N95 when you fly?
No, because that could expose other people. I wear a double cloth mask.
What do you mean that exposes other people?
The N95 has a valve in it that they can let stuff out. It's better for you, but not as good for everybody else.
And you wear. So you wear. Does everyone wear a mask on the plane?
Everybody, whole time.
Time.
And the plane was full. I was on 777 yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah. And
so you're saying the flight attendants are like,
they're like, everything's fine, normal,
what are you doing?
Yeah,
okay.
No problem. We're fine.
Wow.
We want our job. Please come back and travel. The air is circulated every 2 minutes. They UV the hell out of everything. They clean the hell out of everything. And then I do the same. I come in and I clean everything. And it's good. And so I went to Georgia. Now, Georgia's a little bit of a different story. Georgia, like the Atlanta airport, I did not dig what was going on there.
Tell me.
A lot of not cool mask wearing or not wearing.
But did you eat at Bojangles, which is my favorite in the Atlanta
terminal? Atlanta terminal is the best food in the country.
Thank you. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah,
Huge fans.
They have these big food courts right in the middle of each of the little rows. There it is. Yep.
Oh, Bojangles, and that's my favorite one. That's my first stop in Atlanta Airport. I do a Cinnabon.
So I was in the T terminal.
Okay.
Yeah, but I didn't see. Well, everything was closed. They had everything closed.
Okay, that's smart.
Yeah.
So, but you're saying that they were not wearing their masks.
They were not wearing their masks.
Really?
That was troubling to me. I didn't like that. I don't like it. I like when people just in New York they're fastidiously compliant because they're so traumatized. They're so scared. Everyone wears a mask. Everyone just, they're like, that's it. That's how we get around. But, they eat at restaurants and they do their normal thing and stuff. And then they seem fine. And I had a COVID test just a couple days ago, negative in spite of all this travel. But Georgia, they were it was kind of every man for themselves. And when we went out into a lake in the country. Oh, speaking of the lake, I thought you might enjoy this. I had a virginal experience we stay with some friends that are really becoming close friends, and they are beyond lovely. Someday I want you to meet them.
Yeah.
They are amazing. And they taught me a new skill. There it is.
I saw this.
Well, let's watch. Now he's yelling at me to move the board forward. I'm trying to pull it forward. What? Because I'm trying. You ultimately try to get into the wake and then let go of it. No, oops.
Belly flop. You look great. I've tried that once. It is really hard. That is not easy.
Getting up on the wakeboard. I've water skied before, but I've never.
That's so hard. Is that harder than this?
Getting up on this wakeboard was a bit of the guy driving the boat has to really be good to help you get up on the board. And once you're up, it's easy. But then getting into the wake where you can let go of the rope, that I could never pull that up. That was my first time up.
Are you kidding me?
My first time standing up, yeah.
That is so amazing. You look great.
So fine, thank you.
Look at you. Look at you.
I was having fun, right?
Yeah,
I was living. I was living in a cage of COVID.
You're back. Look at Dr. Drew enjoying his life.
I know, it's crazy.
Look at you. So happy.
He's yelling at me what to do. I'm like, okay, I'll try.
But see, he fucked you up because you were in your zone.
Well, you know what? I'd been going for a while at that point, trying to get into the thing, and now he's going to give me some advice.
And then he fucked up your old rhythm. Did Susan try this too?
Oh, no.
No, I wouldn't try this.
If you listen to this particular tape, you can hear her laughing, though.
So you didn't stay in hotels. So for people that are going to travel, what do you recommend?
We did stay in a hotel in Atlanta. We stayed at a hotel there.
And what kind of precautions should we take? What do you think? Masks. Hand wash. Because I read somewhere someone was like, don't let them bring you food into your room. Don't let them clean the room.
Yeah. What I would say is not cleaning the room is a reasonable thing if you want to do that. And if you have food, just get it at the door and bring it in yourself.
Don't let it's the person coming into the room.
And that person is masked always. They always have a mask. The masks work like crazy. You guys, the respiratory virus. And people that want to yell at Fauci, he needs to resign, but he lied to us. He did not lie. Here's what he did. This
is such a crazy world.
So screwed up people are. He said early in the epidemic, when no one knew anything, that I don't think I want masks because we want to preserve them for the first line providers, right?
Yep.
Makes sense. Number two, we don't know if they work. We don't think they work. Number three, I was trained my entire career that most viruses are transmitted on your hands. That's just how we're trained. And he said, I don't want your hands going to your face and adjusting.
I remember that was the big thing in the beginning. Remember, they were like, don't touch your face. Yes. Don't touch your face.
Yes.
Don't touch.
That's how viruses are transmitted. Not this one, it turns out. This one is nose to nose, mouth to nose. And stuff.
Like coughing in my face would give it to me.
It's really just breathing out through your nose can get to your nose. But don't not wear the mask over your nose. This is what bothered me in Atlanta. No one wore the mask over their nose.
Right. People always wear it there.
Yes. You might as well not wear it.
It makes me crazy.
It makes me crazy. I know. Pull your pants up, pull your mask up.
What about the plastic face shield? I'm seeing a lot of people with the face shield.
Yeah, that's becoming popular now. That protects your eyes primarily. So if you want to wear a plastic shield, that's okay. That's okay.
It is
but
okay.
You need to wear a mask also if you really want to be protected. Now people who are want to eat, that makes sense to me, right?
Sure,
if you want to be extra careful while you eat, that has some. Why are you laughing at that?
It looks insane. I mean, you really look like, and I like they always get the hottest models.
And by the way, I gave a talk to 250 doctors in Atlanta. I gave a talk
in a room full of doctors.
And I'll
tell me how they did it.
They distance everybody. People wore masks when appropriate. Everyone had been tested. Everyone was checked every day through a checklist and temperatures. And no one was allowed to get near each other. And when we took pictures, we made sure we were like 8 feet apart and stuff. And they really fastidiously held to it. And guess what? Nobody's sick.
Wow.
So when you do the do,
you do the things you're supposed to do.
We can go about our life a little bit.
Yeah.
But in California, they will not have it.
Yeah, what's going on?
It's Nazi. It's a Nazi concentration camp.
It is.
It's got. I'm telling you,
feels bad.
It feels so much worse than every other state I've been to. I've been to Nevada too. Nevada's sort of on, and I didn't get sick there.
I heard Joe Coy came in, and he's like, "Yeah, no one gives a fuck in Nevada. Like they didn't give a fuck back in March and April."
Well, but Georgia's more. I don't give a fuck. Georgia's a little more that way. But Nevada, they wear the mask. Everyone wears the mask, except a little bit of this business I saw. But that drives me crazy.
What's this? Oh, when you wear it, it's so stupid. It's so counterproductive.
Well, they don't understand how it's transmitted. Nose to nose, the primary transmission. Or nose is how you get it primarily.
Yeah, I inhale your nose yuck.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Or your mouth stuff too,
But why? What is this? It's all political. This is posturing. What are we doing?
I don't.
Why is
it's become a world of non-realities.
You know what I mean? 100% agree.
Like anything that has scientific basis to it or objectivity, they claim science but aren't using science.
I agree. Well, what we were just discussing earlier, I was listening to that. What was her name? The doctor.
Deborah Soap.
The End of Gender. She wrote a book, and she's touring.
She's an academic. She's studied her whole career the issue of sex and sexuality.
Right. And so now she's making the rounds.
Written a book.
The End of Gender is the name of this book. And she talks about how it's so difficult to even study gender from in a science world because you will get quickly canceled.
Science begs no alternative. You got to remember that behind that is post-structuralism, and all science is biased. It's just a bunch of old white men keeping people oppressed, and that's the nature.
I know. My favorite was at the Smithsonian. They were putting a thing up how the family unit, hard work, and delayed gratification are white male patriarchal values, as is capitalism the evil. And it's like, okay, well, even if they are, they're pretty intrinsically good as far as, I don't know. I mean, does it result in some people getting screwed? Yeah, that sucks. So let's address that. But to throw away the entire baby with the bathwater seems a bit.
Throwing out the baby with the bathwater seems to be the name of the game, and that's it. Just please, everybody, study your history. Whenever we have done that, it has been a catastrophe.
Right, because if you want to dismantle, but then what goes up in its place? And there's
always
nobody.
Shittiness. Study your history, please.
Yeah.
Whether it is the Commune of Paris, or the Sans-Culottes, or the Jacobins, or the Gulag Archipelagos, or Mao, or you name it, it's always ended in a disaster. And what in every single one, you end up with a dictator eventually.
Eventually, 100%. Yeah. And also, I feel, and it's funny because I was at a pool party. I went to a friend's.
What? You went to a party?
Our mutual doctor friend.
Gotta call the cops. Well, the cops won't respond. Don't worry. So they're not here.
Our mutual doctor friend.
Jennifer.
Dr. Jessica.
Jessica, I mean, yes.
Yes. She had a small group of people at a public area. Totally, we followed Proto. And it's like we're the secret group of women who are hush tones saying that, you
are the silenced majority.
The silenced majority.
Silenced. You must be silenced. You're dangerous.
I agree. And just by saying like, oh, I listened to Joe Rogan talk to this woman, Deborah So, and you can't even feel like you can say that because I think quietly behind closed doors, we're all like, are you fucking believing what's happening? And so I don't know. Let's push
Every
back.
time we have this conversation, I just think, we got to get your dad in here.
No,
I died to know what he would say.
My dad believes, and he's been saying this for a long time. This is a decade ago. He said, this is the beginning of communism. This is how it started.
Right.
This is how it started. This is how it started. And this is a decade ago. He picked up on it already.
Revisit the Gulag Archipelagos.
I know. My dad had the books. I would read them on the toilet.
Did you read that?
No, I mean,
because
it
talks about the steps and it's all everything we're going through.
Yeah, check. Yeah. Well, it's time to move. Where are we moving?
Well, Nevada, Arizona, Texas, Tennessee, North Carolina.
Joe Rogan's in Texas.
I think he's gone now. I mean, he was like, I'm getting the hell out of here because but he's got to go fast because they now have this thing where they're going to tax wealth.
Yes.
For 10 years after you leave. No, 10 years after you leave.
Oh, wow.
They're going to chase you to wherever you go.
Is that passed yet? Or they're going to? When are they voting on that?
I don't know.
It's nutty. So we're $58 billion in debt, the state of California, and we don't know what to do. And New York came out of it with like $12 billion in debt. So
well, if you want to know what the problem is, I talked to the head of the budget committee in California.
Oh, okay, Dr. Drew.
And she said, and I thought, oh, $58 billion, maybe some fiscal responsibility here. And she goes, we can't print money. But the federal government can, so they need to print that money and give it to us. I was like, that's how you think economics works? Oh my!
Just print it up. It's fine.
I was like, I didn't know what to say. I did not know what to say.
Well, there's a coin shortage, so we can't. There's a coin shortage. What's going on?
What is going on?
Well,
so anyway, here we go.
It's so uncertain. But you know what? The good news is people still have boner and caca problems.
They have boner and caca, so we will be in business forever because they will always have boner and caca. But I want to say one more thing.
I love to hear
that
it.
In terms of what we were just talking about, that I really believe this is a new Puritanism.
I agree.
That if you look at countries where this really caught on fast, England, Netherlands, United States, big Protestant heritage. I'm not saying it's a religious movement. I'm saying it's a culture that can that accepts puritanical movements way too easily.
We love it. We love
it.
Remember the good communism stuff, the McCarthyism in was it the 50s?
Yep.
We love the witch burnings.
Yep.
You don't believe in God. You're an atheist.
Right.
Burner.
And so you're not a pure enough woke person.
That's
so
right.
You're a sinner. Admit it. Well, now you're a witch down the well.
I know. It's so wild.
And by the way,
the woke eat the woke. That's the fucked up part is they go after each other and they accuse them of not being woke enough, which is alarming.
A student, do you know who Rob Henderson is?
No.
He's a guy, he's a philosophy student at
he's the guy that wrote to us.
Yes, you saw that. Okay, good.
Well,
oh no, that's a different one. That's a different one.
Oh, okay.
That was another one. We have all these philosophers ringing in.
Praise the philosophers. Keep emailing us. I go through these emails, these Dr. Drew After Dark at gmail.com. I love reading from the philosophers. Let me ask you this, philosophers. What comes after postmodernism? That's as far as I got in school. So what can we expect next in schools of thought? Because this is the result of postmodern thinking, and it sucks. It's not working.
Well,
so what's the result?
Whenever you reply, you mentioned burning witches as something that people get into. He thought that was spot on. He says, here now, listen. Interesting study showing an association between the dark triad personality traits. You know what that is?
It sounds familiar.
That's something on the rise right now. Narcissism, which we all know is taking a big...
yes. You wrote a book on that.
Psychopathy and Machiavellianism. That's the triad. Public expressions of victimhood. People with dark triad personality traits are constantly seeking new ways to obtain power and gain the admiration of others. In the current era, the best way to do this might be to claim one as a victim. Trauma might be a contributing rise to the rise of narcissism. 100%.
And there's so many platforms that welcome this kind of crap, right? TikTok being one that I love. Yes, virtue signaling, victim. I am this. I identifying with that. It's interesting.
I have, because I'm such a middle grounder, I have deep empathy and a concern for people that are doing this and they're expressing something real for them, and I appreciate that. But I think there's more productive ways to do it.
I know.
That's what makes me sad.
I know, and I think it is the younger people that are kind of going in this direction. I'm not saying all, but it's because they don't have scale.
Well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. You did that.
I did. 100%.
Yes.
100%. And had I had TikTok or Instagram, God, I'd be so embarrassed today.
We would be playing those. We would just do RPC and Christina P. That's all you need. We'd have a whole.
I know. Well, it's funny to quote David Rubin, he calls it the oppression Olympics, right?
So you would have gotten on and said, what? I hate, everything sucks.
So when I was 15, first of all, I grew up in an extremely traumatic upbringing. So there's a reason I was reacting to something horrible, right?
Yes.
So I was angry. I was suicidal. I was cutting myself. I was on drugs. I was coloring the hair.
So you made your outside look like your inside felt.
100%, but I didn't know at the time. So I was very confused.
So if anybody were to say to you, hey, honey, there might be a better way to do this, what would you have done?
Oh my gosh.
You would have gotten rageful.
I was told before, my mother would say, you're just making yourself ugly. But at the time I was like, no, I'm punk. I'm really goth. Like, this is my identity.
Was there also a political movement with it?
For me, I liked punk rock. I still do. I'm still angry a little from where I live. I love that sticking it to the man. I'm very DIY. I still have that ethic in me. So it was a little bit of like,
fuck the man.
Stick it to the man. Yeah. Capitalism sucks.
Yeah. It's
fuck
rigged.
You. Yeah, the system's rigged. It's a very similar.
It's the same.
It's rebellion, and I respect it, and it's necessary for young people to be rebelling. It totally is, but it needs to have an end result.
Well, also maybe we better call it that.
Yeah, rebellion. Oh, right, as opposed to like making laws protecting. Delusional behavior.
It was
craziness.
Kamala Harris said that at 18 to 24, you do dumb stuff.
Yeah.
And I sure did.
Oh.
I mean, my God.
What were you into?
I could not have raised a lizard.
I know.
Imagine having kids at that age, or
no
access to TikTok. God only knows.
No, I would be So embarrassed because it was bad enough that I could decorate my locker in high school. You know what I mean? And like I remember it would be like the Sex Pistols and like all this angry shit, like goth stuff.
Well, let's think of what your TikTok would have been.
Oh,
this will tell the tale.
It would be okay.
You're 19.
Okay, ready? Oh, 19? No, let's go deep cuts. Let's go 15. My darkest year. Okay, first of all, I would have painted my room black.
Right.
And my mother didn't let me because we lived in a townhome.
Well, think of all the tattooing now. Would you have like...
Oh! Piercing. Because piercings didn't come along until the 90s, really.
Yeah.
I would have had the door knocker.
Yeah.
I would have fucked all of this.
Yeah, lots of metal.
I did black nails before. That shit was cool.
Of course.
So I already did that.
Yeah.
Walls would be black. Okay, I would have like a candle lit, and then I went to Pirates of the Caribbean in Disneyland. Goths love Disneyland, and I bought a glow-in-the-dark human skull.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, so I'd have the skull and like the candle, and I'd probably have like Bela Lugosi's Dead playing in the background, and I'd be like, I'm an immortal, or like something so. I'd be so mortified today.
Come on, more immortal and
like if you're a vampire, please make me into a vampire.
You're a familiar. I want to be a familiar.
Because let me tell you, my best friend Shauna and I, we were both goth together.
Oh my God.
And we made a pact to each other when we were 15 that if one of us became a vampire, we had to change the other one. Like the sincerest pact.
Oh my God, you were so fucked up.
So fucked up. We sat in front of Alpha Beta smoking our clove cigarettes, and we're like, totally. If you become a goth, a vampire, you have to make me a vampire.
Like, surely you're watching What We Do in the Shadows now.
I love it.
Okay, good.
That could be my life story.
Okay, good.
I fully get it. But again, if you had asked me at the time, like, hey, why are you making yourself ugly?
That's the thing I want to zero in on is what. Because if you approach somebody who's doing this now, you will get rage and
of course
see the problem is when people have a lot of horrible feelings inside and you locate that outside of yourself, that is extremely primitive and dysfunctional. And that's
where I was primitive,
it's
dysfunctional.
All out there, right? It's all out there. It's because the man's fucked up. So I'm just reacting to how the world is messed up.
Correct.
Right?
The
world is the problem. It's all your stuff that you're locating out there. Mm-hmm. That's
I know. But again, you don't have the maturity.
And just think you could have had an eternity as a vampire if you had been careful. Just think. You could have actually screwed everything up and lost your soul. If you're Shauna, was that her name?
Shauna, yeah.
If Shauna become a vampire, think what might have happened.
That would have been over. I know.
What's up with her now?
I just talked to her. Right, I hung out right before we got here. Happy, adjusted. She's a teacher.
Well, here's the deal.
She's an artist. She's a fantastic human being.
You and your kind need to lead the way out.
I would love to. I would love to help.
Because you've been there and you see what's happening and you've done it.
Yeah.
It's just on a kind of bigger scale, on a bigger stage now.
Yeah.
And you need to lead these young people to the light.
I think too, and I think what it is, it's a natural longing to belong to a bigger movement.
Well, that's
the
tribalism.
Tribalism, yes, but this tribalism specializes in dividing and in division.
Mm-hmm. Because it's all the bad stuff out there.
Yeah, and I wish we could find a union, something that brings people together. I would love a movement that just brought these children together in love. Yeah. Can we bring back the hippies? Did you like the hippies?
No.
Wow, didn't even hesitate.
Because I was around them.
Free love?
I was around them a lot. They were essentially homeless people. They were mentally ill. They were. They wouldn't bathe.
They were mentally ill homeless people.
They were not well. A lot of them.
Oh shit!
No. It was not a good thing because it was in Laguna. It was taken over by.
Dirty hippies. I
spent all that time, and it was people. It was the same stuff, same shit,
different toilet. As you say. Can I tell you what really helped me get out of this goth stuff was achievements. It's the same thing we talk about, and it's not a sexy answer, but it's kind of what you and Carolla always talk about, which is find a purpose, get involved. Get the fuck off of TikTok. As much as I love making fun of you guys on TikTok, it is the greatest love of my life.
I know that.
I feel for you, and I love these young people, and I don't want them to be wasting their lives just being victim. Just get off the talk. And I know right now it's hard because we're in COVID, but get involved in the mush of the world, in the mesh of the world.
And to be fair, our libido is a very significant driving force. It cleared you out.
It cleared me out. So I went to Oxford. What happened was I studied in England. And I was like, I got to fuck one of these guys on the rowing team because they're in really good shape.
and they're like, ew, she's a vampire.
Right.
She'll turn me into a vampire.
Well, exactly. Because I was banging guys in San Francisco who were wearing dresses, velvet skirts. And that was hot in San Francisco, but put me in England. And I was like, these guys are like muscular and they're hot. So that black hair turned blonde right quick. And I started dressing. I wore colors for the first time in England. There's pictures of me like normal in England because I was like, I gotta fucking get laid.
Also, I'm wondering if
I did, and I laid like hot, fucking blonde hair, blue eyed. Dude, it was so good. I banged a lot of dudes out here. Yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
The environment, though, you're right, because in San Francisco, it's all weirdos.
And to be fair, you must have had purpose and you were engaged. And so your mood started lifting.
Yes.
And so you started opening yourself to these things and then had some success with them. And then now it builds.
100%. Yeah. And feeling good about myself. I was studying a subject I was passionate about and doing really well. And my friends were positive people. They weren't negative people. And yeah, it was great. It's all about your surroundings and who you're with and what you're doing and the purpose. Yeah, they need real purpose, not just figuring out what's wrong with the system. Go make it right. Then go make the system better. It's one thing to tear it down, but then what are you going to do? What are you going to do about that, kid? Make it better.
And now you've dedicated yourself to prolapse and poop.
Now I dedicate my life to prolapse. But I will tell you that we bring so much joy to people that I feel like that's the mission in Studio Jeans.
Well, let's bring some joy. How about that?
I like making people happy now.
Let's do a couple talks since we're in the topic.
I love these talks. The TikTok, well, Trumpy was threatening to get rid of them, but he just wanted to sell it.
Yeah,
he just wanted to sell it to Microsoft. Yeah, so this is a new lane. This guy I'm really into. There's a lot of Deep South talks, a lot of people defending the Confederate flag and statues and such. So this guy's really good. Go ahead.
You better listen to me really clearly. If you don't like this flag, you pack up your bags and get out of my country. This flag is nothing but a flag of heritage. Think about it, y'all. That is a beautiful flag.
Yeah.
Well, he's a perfect marketing representation for that flag, I would say.
I know. Is that the spokesman?
And yeah, and I think the nice thing he's done is solidified everyone's point of view on it. So well done.
He's not only a hair club member; he's the president of the Confederacy. It's funny because this is, it would be like people defending the Nazi flag, right? Like a flag of oppression and like didn't do good stuff.
No, same thing. Same thing. Good luck.
So what's with his eye, though? One eye goes this way, one eye goes that way. What causes that?
It can be a lot of different things. It can be amblyopia. It can be it can be problems with where the eye focuses, and one just doesn't get a strong macula, and so it drifts. It can actually be a muscular problem. It can be different things.
Is it from getting kicked in the head by a donkey?
Could be that too.
What if the donkey kicks him again? Will it fix
knock it back? Yeah, could do. That's well done.
Do they really treat people like that?
No.
Oh, that's just in cartoons?
No, just in everything about the head, about the brain in cartoons and the Three Stooges is inaccurate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just they get hit over there with 2x4s. That would be somebody never the same again. I'm glad you like that. And by the way, remember the guy going into the riding his little mini bike? That's Tom's favorite video. Yeah. And that's somebody never going to be the same again.
No. Wait, but so can this be corrected in childhood if you catch it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And this usually presents early in life that they could correct it?
Yeah.
Okay.
My old radio partner, Leanne Tweeten, had that. And she had to tighten down a few times. So.
But they can fix it. Could they fix it at this guy's age, or it's?
The problem is the eye may not track quite normally at this point. So
that's kind of fun, though.
Yeah, I know. It could be interesting having it drifting around. But it'd be better than this, I suppose. But here we go.
Especially if you're a Confederate advocate, like it's kind of neat.
John Potter and I had a long conversation about eyes. You should see. I think you might be amused, but you might enjoy it.
I love Josh Potter's attitude about his eyes. I mean, poor guy. Okay, sorry.
And then how did people receive, by the way, his back abscess, Nadav? Was it generally well received?
They absolutely loved it.
Okay. How come Christina didn't see it? We did a little surgery on him.
What?
See, I knew you'd love it.
Yeah, we popped his cyst on the show.
I'm going to
last
throw
week.
up.
Oh, come on.
You did that here?
We just drained it a little bit, yeah.
With what? Your pen?
With my hands and a couple of...
You are so nasty, Dr. Drew. What'd you do with the pus?
Not that I backed. I didn't do a full evacuation. I needed more equipment and things, which we are. Nadav,
I ordered it. Yeah,
I was going to say, you're going to finish the job for this.
I ordered
a
bunch of equipment, and we are going to do it as a special.
Yeah,
maybe do it for the live show.
I was going to say,
there's a YMH original coming soon.
Oh God!
It's just people like pimple popper and stuff like that.
I don't. I'm not. I like to pop Toms though. It's my job as a wife to
You may
groom
like
him.
this one. You may like this. This will be very interesting.
I'll keep an open mind.
Another talk, please. Let's see what we got.
Yeah, when you come partying with Rookat, you better be ready because this guy's down, that guy's down, that girl's down. This is the only dog still awake.
Whoa. That looks really dangerous to me. What's going on? Is that all heroin?
That's what I'm thinking Rookat party's on. That's a heroin party, right?
Is that what it means?
Bro, I don't know what it means, but I'm assuming, like, I just thought heroin. Everyone's
It looks
asleep.
like heroin. They're all nodded off. They're not just... Alcohol lays you out a little differently.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like...
I mean, it's not so slumped over.
Right, because this is like, I have this thing in my arm.
And I slumped
down.
over, yeah.
Alcohol is more like, fuck.
Yeah, it's fuck.
Right.
My head's back or I'm rolled in a ball or something. Not that. That's that is a heroin situation.
Fuck.
Oh my God.
This happens when you party with Rookat.
Here we go.
Hey, what's happening?
Hey.
Yeah, I'm freaking loaded again, as usual. I mean, this is not Monday. It's Wednesday, hump day. Have a good one. Bye.
You know what's so fascinating about her?
You know what? Everything.
Everything.
I love her.
And she sounds like she's about 15 when you close your eyes and hear her voice.
Oh, yeah.
And of course that's trauma and stuff. But then you look at her and you go, did she accelerate something? All this partying and being loaded all the time? Is she 30? Is this a 30-year-old?
Like, right, like the French, they always look older. They look like shit. Wait, so do you think she's like 30?
That's my fantasy. I think she's like 60 really. But even for 60, she's not looking great.
I will say I do like her positive attitude.
I do too. She seems very nice.
Yeah. And then, so what's these wrinkles are smokers wrinkles?
Yeah, it's that kind of thing. And got teeth.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always like when people have good teeth.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. But she's having a good time. And look, it's the choir. People aren't doing as much. So it's Wednesday. Get loaded. What are you going to do on a Wednesday?
Ooh. Oh my God.
A lot of people hear about transition to 5D and they assume it's going to a new place, a new planet. And that's not the case. It's a different frequency in the sense that just the way that radio stations operate, different channels all are going on at the same time. You just tune in to the one or to the other. So how to know if you're still stuck in this 3D matrix is whether or not you identify with these constructs. Is stuff right, wrong, left, right, Republican, Democrat? Because the truth of the matter is that everything is true. So whether or not it's true in
everything
your
is true.
reality,
You just lost me. You just lost me, honey.
Whether it exists in your world doesn't mean that it's not true. Or
is that all tattoos on her neck? Or is that just a neck thing? That's all tattoos?
Menagerie.
Ooh, honey. And nothing is true. Bye.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Well, it's not that nothing is true. It's everything is true all at once.
Oh, is that what she said?
So,
nothing and everything.
But you're thinking like a 3D person. She's in 5D, bro.
Oh, you're right.
Bump up your game, duh.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
Because 5-dimensional beings understand that it's all true.
I think this could have been you.
Easily.
Yeah.
Easily. Yeah. Here. Oh, yeah. Because you know what I was really into? I was into witchcraft when I was a teenager. Mm-hmm. I was really into the Anne Rice books, those vampire chronicles. I was really into tarot and palm reading. I would have, I would have done like some of that stuff. Like, guys, the card for today is the 4 swords or whatever. And it signifies change.
Hey, let's take a little break for our first sponsor here. It is, of course, Upstart. And during these economically turbulent times, we're all looking for a way to feel more secure, but you may still be needlessly throwing your money every month at high interest rate credit card debt. It's time you checked out Upstart. It's the revolutionary online lending platform that knows you're more than just a credit score. It's time to find out how low your Upstart rate can be to help pay off high interest rate credit card debt. Unlike other lenders, Upstart can reward you based on your education, your job history. It's in the form of a smarter rate. You don't need a degree or diploma to apply, though. Upstart lets you skip going to the bank because it's completely online. They offer from $1,000 to $50,000, so you can consolidate your debt into one easy fixed payment. And Listen, you got to pay attention to stuff like this right now. Debt is becoming very important. Upstart lets you make it fast, simple to check your rate. Since it's just a soft pull, it will not affect your credit score. The hard pull happens if you accept your rate and proceed with your application. The best part, if the loan is approved and accepted, most people get their funds the very next business day. Over 400,000 people have used Upstart to pay off credit card debt or to meet their financial goals. Free yourself from the burden of high interest rate credit card debt and get back to using your money the way you want with Upstart. See why Upstart is a 4.9 out of 5 rating on Trustpilot, and hurry to upstart.com/Dr. Drew to find out how low your Upstart rate can be. Checking your rate only takes a few minutes. That is upstart.com/Dr. Drew. Your loan amount will be determined based on your credit, income, and certain other information provided in your loan application. Not all applicants will qualify for the full amount. Next up is our friends at Bespoke Post. Now, we all settle into this new normal, although I think we should fight against it, but there is kind of a new version of summer. And Bespoke Post is here with customized box of awesome collections for guys, guaranteed to upgrade and make you feel better. I love the barbecue, and I also like the travel one. They have lots of ones that I like at Bespoke Post. Only sends guys the best stuff every month. No matter what you're into, Box of Awesome has you covered, from style and grooming goods to barware, cooking tools. I told you, outdoor cooking gear, outdoor gear of all types. Box of Awesome has carefully built collections for every part of your life. To get started, take the quiz at boxofawesome.com. Your answer will help them pick the right Box of Awesome for you. It's a kind of a fun quiz to take, and you'll clarify for yourself what you like too. And they release new boxes every month across a ton of different categories. Free to sign up, and you can skip a month or cancel anytime. Each box only $45. And it'll bring you joy in this new normal, but it has over $70 worth of gear inside. Get 20% off your first monthly box when you sign up at boxofawesome.com. Enter the code Dr. Drew, DRDRW, at checkout. That is boxofawesome.com, code Dr. Drew for 20% off your first box. Next up is our friends at Stamps.com, and again, it's a new normal we're adjusting to, and thousands of business owners have discovered the benefits of Stamps.com, particularly since we're all stuck where we are. And of course, no one wants to go out and get exposed. You don't have to with Stamps.com. You can print postage on demand, avoid going to the post office. You'll save money with discounted rates you can't even find at the post office. And Stamps.com also offers UPS services with discounts up to 62% and no residential surcharges. Again, Stamps.com brings all the mailing and shipping services you need right to the computer, your own computer, in your own home or office. Whether you're a small business sending out invoices or an online seller shipping out products, just working from home and you need to mail stuff, Stamps.com can handle it all. And simply use your computer to print official U.S. postage. My wife started doing this years ago. She found Stamps.com a long time ago. And it's for any letter, any package, any class of mail, anywhere you want to send it. Once your mail is ready, you just leave it to your mail carrier, schedule a pickup, or drop it in a mailbox. It is that simple. And as I said, with Stamps.com, you get great discounts as well. 5 cents off every stamp, up to 62% off USPS and UPS shipping rates. Stamps.com is a no-brainer. And right now, our listeners get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial, plus free postage and a digital scale without any long-term commitment. I'm always wondering what the package weighs or what the appropriate postage should be. No more mystery with the scale that they give you. Just go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage, type in DRDREW, that's Dr. Drew. Again, it is Stamps.com, enter Dr. Drew.
Oh,
Here's why am I not horny. Lately, I've had a problem with libido. I take Lexapro and Wellbutrin. I've been taking both for at least 3 years now. I've never had this problem before. I also take Lamictal, so she got bipolar disorder, and minocycline. Oh, too much medicines, everybody. When I feel horny, my vagina is dry. I'm single right now. She doesn't say how old she is. What's so funny about that?
I like you say, my vagina is dry. Can we isolate Drew
I'm
saying
literally,
that, please?
What does this say?
My vagina is dry. But I want Drew to say it.
My vagina is dry. My vagina is dry. My vagina is dry. Take which one ever you like. Makes Christine very, very happy. Very, very happy. It's not urgent, but I'm bored. So all those meds absolutely shut down libido for sure. The Lamictal is the latest one to join you, and I would get down a lower dose of Lexapro first, and then think about lowering that Lamictal.
Lamictal is how you say it?
Lamictal. Lamotrigine is the other name for it. And maybe some hormone management too. We've been talking about that, and I today.
Get on that tea.
I hear you talk about the difference between male and female brain. Again, I'll talk to Deborah So about that. You guys ought to have her in about that.
I'm not even qualified enough to get into it.
Well, it's stuff, I have thought a lot about through all those years doing Loveline because it was relevant to the conversations we were having. Mm-hmm. And I saw stuff. I I don't know if I tell the whole story. It's a long story, but I would go to colleges and I would just use the room as sort of a laboratory, and I would ask questions, and I got disturbing answers.
What do you mean? You have to elaborate now.
Like I would go, with this whole hookup culture thing, the hooking up, random hookup, is the very center of the centerpiece of your emotional life, your social life here in college. Why do you have to be drunk to do it? Why is it always loaded? If it's such a centerpiece, why always? Not some of the time, always drunk. Gentlemen, why? Gentlemen, immediately hands go up.
Yeah, why?
It's because I really want to do this, and it's hard. It's difficult. I get rejected. I walk. It's just so hard. You mean it's treating your anxiety? Yes, it manages my anxiety and my fear of resentment, and so I can carry this. And I could hurt somebody, but I don't really worry about that because I'm loaded. There's two sides. I'm anxious, and it's a big tall order. I really want to do this. And if I hurt somebody, I don't want to think about that either.
Oh,
okay.
Geez.
Then, having heard that from every male in the room, I'll go, interesting. Women, what do you think? And the room goes silent. Remember, all the men are like, I want to tell you. Silent. So towards the latter, the room is always the same in terms of where people sit. So
really?
You'll notice that. When
in
you're
audiences, I know who's the extroverts. They're in the front row.
Correct. They're
or the
always
drunkest.
Especially when you have a proscenium room with a theater.
Proscenium. That means
a theater. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And Tom does lots of these. He'll tell you. He can tell you who sits where in the room. It's always the same. It's very weird. So when I ask the women, silence, silence, silence. Then in the upper third, some women will go, it's beer goggles. They'll essentially say the same thing the guy said. And I go, okay, all right, that's fine, fair enough. I think women do that. Anybody else? Silence. And then always in the first fifth, like the second fifth, in the middle, a girl will raise her hand and go, I do it to make sure I don't have any feelings.
Wow.
Always, every room. So make sure I don't have, and I go, that sounds different what the guy said.
Yeah.
Don't have any feelings. How interesting.
That's dark, meaning I don't have any feelings of guilt or shame or hesitation?
All of the above. Or if I get connected to that person, I won't because I'll be too loaded to get connected to them.
Wow. Yeah, because that was always my reason why I couldn't just hook up with dudes because I'm too emotional. I don't want to do that.
You get hooked. You'd start thinking about them the next day and stuff.
Yeah,
they don't want
do that.
And they think so I'd get into the conversation with them and they think there's something wrong with them that they're that way.
That's interesting.
So what's genuine and spontaneous about them as a woman, they have to medicate away with alcohol.
Yeah,
Think
that's
how sad that is.
Well, would you link that to inherent gender differences? Would that woman...
That's biology, everybody.
Yeah.
That's biology. The female investment in fucking is different.
Yeah.
It's a different thing. It's evolved differently. And that's what Deborah So was saying. This evolution is still with us and we shouldn't be pretending it. I mean, it's just that we have all kinds of things that we've evolved that we've learned to manage. You can manage it however you wish, but to pretend it's not there is a big mistake.
Yeah, I agree. To pretend it's not there and to just say blanketly like everybody should be able to participate in this hookup culture.
And think about the standard we've set. The standard we set is what's the highest standard? The 17-year-old male. The worst form of the human being is what we've said. That's what we've said. That's the standard. And if women are not up to 17-year-old male, there's something wrong with them.
Yeah, that's
Think about
so
that.
True.
We should be holding men to being a 22-year-old female.
That's so true.
Right?
And also, it's not to say that the opposite should be enacted, where we should all wait until marriage or be puritanical.
No, I'm not making any judgment of anything.
Right, but I'm saying, like, what should we encourage? Like,
I think when you say should, we're getting a dangerous territory. I'm just saying let's manage what is.
Correct.
And each person then goes, what do I want to do with this?
Right, like I have a choice in this culturally.
Should I fight it off? Should I try to manage it? Should I suppress it? Should I drink it away? All these things, but to pretend it's not there or I'm broken because I feel this way, that's so sad that women do that to themselves.
That's true, because when I was in college and all my friends it was kind of cool to hook up too, like to just whatever with dudes.
And sometimes it worked, right? Sometimes it was okay.
No, I never could. I honestly have.
You always get
I've never. Tom was supposed to be my first one night stand, and look where that ended up.
Yeah, see how it is. Man,
I could never do it.
Things can go very bad. Be careful, ladies. you can get hooked into stuff you could never imagine.
I know, but I really
spend your life talking about white and brown forever after.
The psycho. But I only ever Frenched like two strangers at a bar in my life because I was so wired to not. And I did feel like an outcast or like a weirdo because everyone else was treating it so casually. And I'm like, gosh, maybe I'm just like this sensitive person. I can't do it.
And the thing about women is they're all very different. Women are very diverse in terms of their biologies and genetics and things. And some women can do it and really like doing it.
Some women are straight hoes. Like my old roommate, I won't say her name. We used to call her
But you should
Diana
contact
the
her
whore.
now and see how she feels about all that.
Well, Diana the whore. Yeah. No, I do. I just ran into her. She's a mom now.
And how does she feel about all that?
And she is like, I was like, well, who are you banging now? Girl, what's up? And she's like, I'm not into banging dudes anymore. It sucks. Like, I want that one person. I don't want... she's not that person anymore.
So it was good for her then. It was not an acting out.
I wouldn't know if it was good for her. Of all my friends, she acted like it was. But I think there's an inherent longing in people to want a real connection.
And the problem is in men that doesn't kick in until they're about 28.
Yeah.
Although some men want it earlier, but men become human beings again
but
about
I don't
28.
know. She did bang like a dude.
Right, gentlemen in the room? Am I right about this?
These guys are savages.
For some, yeah.
Yeah, for some.
Yeah, because
not these guys.
She didn't want to be in a boyfriend until she was in her mid-30s, I would say. And then it was like, okay.
We should interview her. We should get some input from her.
Write that shit down. I'll call her up. She's in my phone. We have the same pediatrician.
Ran into her at the pediatrician's.
Was she at the party?
No, but I ran into her and I was like, Diana the whore. Like we called her that to her face even. She was my roommate, so I saw the guys. Yeah, and she was like, whatever, it's awesome. And she did. She seemed to love it.
We'll see.
So, hey now.
Let's
call her.
Let's get a voice message in here.
Hey, Dr. Drew. My name's Chandler. I've only had one sexual partner, and it was my high school girlfriend. Now, when I would have sex with her, she would want me to go down on her, as 99% of women do. But when I would try, I would gag. I don't find her vagina actually gross. I don't find her actually gross. But when I would try, the smell and actually the action of doing it would make me gag. And of course, I want to make her happy. She wanted me to do it. She had no problem doing it with me, and I just felt awful. Is there any particular reason for that? Do you think it might have been her gooch, like her odor, the way she was? Do you think it might be me? Both? Thanks, Dr. Drew.
On the count of three.
Ready?
1, 2, 3. You're gay.
Yes. Right?
I mean, is that a unanimous decision in the booth, guys?
So
That's what I thought too. Yeah.
So he gave us that vibe, but that doesn't mean he is. So and it doesn't mean because he has some aversive reaction. Maybe there was some unusual odor or something for him, and give it another shot. And I would like to know what kind of porn you watch, because if you're watching men, then that would be a hint that maybe you like men, and maybe you want to look into that, maybe, just maybe. But if not, and you're finding, and we're off, which we could easily be. We're making gigantic assumptions here.
She could have a horribly smelly vagina.
It just could be something about her for him, and let's and good for you for even whatever it is. You don't like her, and you don't like her, and you're not that want to do that stuff. You're still willing to do that for her. I think that's a good thing. You're a good man. You're a really good man. Give another one a try. Give the old college try. Speaking of give another one a try, let's try another email, or rather a voice message.
Hey, Dr. Drew and Christina, this is Brent. I just had a quick question. When I was growing up, I remember always hearing that if you jumped into the water from something that was too high, water would actually shoot up your beehole and you could die from it. Is that true?
Well,
I love that question.
I love being here.
Yeah, it's the best, right?
Here's the deal. Water can get forced up the tuchai. That can happen.
The medical word.
Well, the tuchai is the plural, I suppose.
Plural, yeah.
Yeah, and usually it is of inconsequential nature. But the point is, I've imagined in human history, somebody got some force so hard that maybe it tore the rectum or something.
Yeah.
And that could be pretty serious. Adam's friend Ray used to use the water jets at the jacuzzi.
I know. I've heard this. I've heard him talk about this.
And he would fill himself up.
And enema himself.
And then he would deliver said content onto his friends.
Yes, I know. Yeah. I actually saw a guy do that in high school too. Maybe the same guy. But,
I don't know.
Wow, but you don't think that if he jumps from a high place, it would act like a spear, the water? Like it wouldn't puncture your intestines?
Well, the reality is if you're from a high place, you're like landing on cement.
Yeah.
So it's screwing everything else up before it ever gets to the...
You're breaking your legs.
The tuchus, yeah.
Yeah.
But if there are things, water spouts and waves and things that do force stuff up the ani, and that happens not uncommonly, so, but it's not a big deal. One more voice. Making these voice messages are bringing Christina joy. Joy, I tell you.
Hey, Mommy. My name is Andrew. I've got 6 kids, and I've got the exact opposite problem as Josh Potter. I come instantaneously after insertion, and my wife still wants to have sex, and there is no such thing as safe sex in our household. As a child, I was kicked in the nuts so hard I was black and blue. I'm wondering if that doesn't have something to do with it. You're a lot smarter than me, though, so if you could answer the question, please, that'd be greatly appreciated. Keep a mind tight.
You're a lot smarter than me, though. No shit. Doctor's just fucking medical doctor, man.
So it's not being kicked in the nuts. This is just your clock. This is your rhythm, and you need to learn to manage it with your spouse. You can wear a condom. I know you said there's no safe sex, but you can wear a condom.
Yeah, why is there no safe sex? I don't understand what that means.
Meaning every time they have sex, it's a potential
get a fucking snips.
So snip or condom. Maybe take one out of the chamber before you go into battle.
Huge.
There's numbing creams out there that can be helpful. There's actually medications that can be helpful too, so you can talk to your doctor about that. But it's usually best just kind of work it out with your partner, because sometimes women are kind of relieved when guys are fast.
Always, especially when you have 6 kids.
Yeah, and
she's probably like, "Thank God, now we can watch Netflix and chill and get that shit over with."
And that's so.
Not all the time, but like there are some times where you're just like, "All right."
You just made every husband on earth go, "Oh God." Really? Does she really feel that way sometimes?
Yeah. But here's the deal, man. The woman who loves you will be like, yeah, all right, just fucking shove it in. Let's just get it over with. Because she loves you enough. The bitch that don't love you is going to be like, no, and just let you suffer.
Interesting.
So, hey, she's throwing you a bone when she doesn't want to. That's called real love.
Okay, that's good. That's a nice way of wrapping that call. Except I want to say the 6 kids, wasn't it Groucho Marx had that famous interaction with the woman who came in. She had 12 kids, and he goes, well, I love my cigar, but occasionally I take it out of my mouth.
That's a good one.
I didn't even hear that one.
Give me a female voicemail. They're always way more sort of sane. Let's say not sane, but calming, appropriate maybe.
Female energy.
Hi, mommies.
Hi,
this
Mommy.
is Morgan from Seattle.
See.
So my boyfriend and I have been experimenting with anal play recently. His member is a little too big for us to do regular anal, so he's been using his fingers instead while we have sex. So we both really enjoy it, and it feels great for both of us. But recently, when he pulled his fingers out, there was a decent amount of blood.
Ooh.
I didn't feel any discomfort, and his fingernails are always short. So I was just wondering, what could have caused this? Can we safely keep up with the anal play, or could this be a sign of something bad? Okay. Thank you. Love you guys.
Okay. So I like the way she goes right to the fingernails.
She's smart.
He's slicing me up.
Yeah.
Probably an internal hemorrhoid, almost undoubtedly. But the problem is I don't know how old she is, and I don't know what other risk factors are there. So you need to tell your doctor, because there can be polyps and tumors and other things like that, or AVMs and things that bleed.
AVM was that?
Arterial venous malformations and these, But almost always this is an internal hemorrhoid, and it's not that big a deal. You might want to use something other than his finger, something a little softer or something. Maybe I don't know what kind of.
Fuck if I know. I don't put stuff in my butt.
I know. You're not there yet.
Not there yet. Wait until 50. 6 more years. I guess. I mean.
And those hormones too.
And those hormones. Wait till I get on that tea. Yeah, I'm sure there's stuff you can buy, so it's not his finger.
Right.
That's like softer and meant to go in a beehole.
Yeah, I think that would make sense to me. But do tell your doctor about it, because I can't. It wouldn't be responsible for me to just say, oh, it's just an internal hemorrhoid. So we get back to the male-female brain thing. I hear you talk about the difference between the male and female brain. In what way is the gay male brain different from the hetero male brain?
Oh.
Do you know of any great studies? There are tons of studies on this, and this guy's from Montreal. And in fact, Deborah So was addressing it the other day, and I want to talk to her a little more about it. She kept saying that the transgender issue was different because gay men were gay biologically. She kept saying it's biology. And it's a hard thing to parse out, right? Because environment effects and how we develop is reflected in our biology, right? So we end up with a biology, which is important. And just because something is biological doesn't mean, there's lots of biological urges and things that we learn to manage. So biology doesn't tell us how to how the phenomenology should go. But there is definitely gay male brain differences for sure.
Yeah,
for
there
sure.
has to be.
Yeah, and it's thought that I think what I want to talk to her about is I think what she really meant is that it's genetic, which is saying something different. What's that
saying? That your coding determines the phenomenology.
And when it comes to human behavior, I will tell you that the general rule of thumb is that whatever the behavior is or the manifestation is, about 60% of it is determined on genetics. That's generally the case. Like when you see identical twins and stuff, they end up, they're both gay or whatever. That's a lot of the studies that were originally done on gay men. And so genes aren't destiny, but genes have a big role in what happens.
Man, so ain't the truth?
That's what I want to talk to her about.
Watching my kids grow up, you're like, some of that stuff, I'm like, that's genetics right there. I saw my dad doing that. Like, I see Ellis, and he's like a carbon of my dad.
Uh-oh.
I'm like, oh, Ellis can play tennis at 4. That's my dad. Dude.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, he's a fucking cannonball. He's a maniac. I'm
interesting.
Like, that's genetics, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Can't fight it.
Yep.
May as well nurture it.
Well, that's the point.
Encourage it.
That's the point. You can either encourage or discourage the genetics, right?
Right.
It's not destiny, but it sort of manifests, and what we do with it is what's interesting. I want to hear Bulgarian lady speaks bad English because I figured since we're talking about your dad so much today, I thought as an homage to him, we'd talk about heavy accent. Oh,
yeah. That's my aunt.
Hello, everybody. My name Mariana Nikolova, new Minister of Tourism in Bulgaria.
Hold on. She's the Minister of Tourism from Bulgaria?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. You'd think that she'd choose a better angle, at least on the camera.
I mean, comb your hair? Or something? God bless her, but oh my God, she's the Minister of Tourism.
She put on her nice tank top, Drew. Why don't you give her a break?
This is I must go to Bulgaria. Well, it's kind of working the other way on me. It's kind of going all the way to the full circle where now I want to go. I want to see this. I want to see this.
How are they managing COVID?
Oh, by the way, how's the Moldova part going in the 90 Day Fiancé? Are you up to date?
No.
Dude.
We've tapped out for a minute.
Uh-oh.
Because we were invested in Love on the Spectrum and the Indian matchmaking.
Yeah, we watched the Indian matchmaking things, yeah.
The whole way?
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Disturbed.
Why?
Not badly disturbed, not disturbed in it, but disturbed in the sense that I don't know how to characterize it because it's me commenting on another culture and everything. Yeah. So I have no business doing it, except to say that women get commoditized.
Yeah, because they always want models, like the hottest. Give me like the hottest, smartest one for this pussy weenie boy. I know. They're always weenies.
And it's a lot of money and family, and which is, I guess it works for them and stuff, but... And then there was women that are independent and self-starters are sort of marginalized or at least diminished in the way this narrative is told.
Yes.
So it just was like,
interesting.
If I were a woman, I'm not sure I'd be whole happy with this whole matchmaking. Really, the documentary I think I'd be more upset with than the matchmaking itself.
Sure. Well,
although I was fascinated by the face guy.
Which face guy?
She'd go to him and she'd show pictures.
Oh, yeah.
She goes, are these a match? I was like, and he was spot on.
He knew. He's like, this guy has a temper.
He was spot on, looking at their faces. That to me was the most amazing.
Do you think that wasn't producing, like the producers?
No.
Yeah, I think it's real too.
Because Indians do a lot of that kind of stuff, and it was just fascinating to me that there's somebody out there that can do that. So
I know, but in a caste system,
yes, that was the other part that was kind of disturbing.
It's kind of like. That's best case scenario. If you're in a caste system.
Getting married up kind of thing?
Dude, yeah. If you're like the hot model chick and your family just kind of hooks you up and now you're sold. It's basically into just being somebody's broodmare and like you cook and clean and take care of his house.
And it's Cinderella too. You're under the thumb of the mother-in-law.
The mom. Ooh. Thank God we're here. Yeah.
But so wait. Some shit goes down in Moldova. You got to watch.
Okay. All right. I'll write it down.
You know which ones I'm talking about?
No.
The sisters that breastfeed at the pool. Have you seen that whole episode?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Okay, you're right. You're way out of the loop.
I'm way behind, man. I got to get into it.
You guys hooked me into that horrible thing. It's a symptom of how bad I was feeling, and now I'm hooked. It's really like you. It's really when I was depressed. It's like you hooked me on heroin, and now I can't get off it. And I'm really pissed at you guys. They remember when they made me watch because of the guy with the eyes and the hypothyroidism.
Yeah.
Well, I went to go watch to figure out what was going on with him, and then you just taste this stuff. It's not bad. Just taste it. Snort a little bit of it. It's not bad. And then you're like, well, it's much better if you use this rake. Let's just do this. I'm so mad.
And then you're in the park, hunched over.
Yes, I'm one of the troop. What is
Roof cat or whatever. You burning with roof cat. That's it.
Okay, I want to go back to Bulgaria. So this is why I want to go to Bulgaria.
Go to Bulgaria. I dare you.
I'm now interested in Moldova, and I'm interested in all these Eastern European countries.
Double dog dare you.
Hello, everybody. My name Mariana Nikolova, new Minister of Tourism in Bulgaria. Today I'm really very angry because people say I speak no good English.
Oh boy. Is that the least of their complaints?
Well, keep going. Listen how she's going to remedy that.
I speak good English. You do not speak. You do not do you can speak English.
Keep going. I'm in all the way.
Have certificate. I have about 57 or 78 certificate that I speak do good English. Do can speak good English. Everybody in government of Bulgaria speak very, very good English.
Can you please find more talks from her? And I want to know what her pitch is for tourism in Bulgaria, other than her English. I want to know what the pitch is. I'm always happy when people learn a second language, so good for her. And
it's
then try
amazing.
To use it. So
it's a miracle.
Yeah, good for you, honey. We support you. You do not speak good English.
No.
So.
You do not do you.
Because obviously, I don't mock anybody who's trying to learn. But if you're putting out a statement saying I speak good English, you should proofread the shit out of that script, and tighten up your game, bro. You're gonna release the statement.
And the Minister of Education's pissed at you.
Yeah.
Because if this is the high level of achievement in English in Bulgaria, that's an indictment of that.
Hey,
that
Google
person.
Bulgaria. I've never actually been there. It's my neighbor. I mean, Hungary, isn't it next to?
Austria.
We're cousins. It borders Austria, Yugoslavia.
It has to be that
it's
whole.
near Serbia, Macedonia. It's actually probably nice.
Let's
see.
So,
so we're further there. Yeah, there's Serbia.
So that whole region. Let's look at how there's Hungary. So it goes down south. Wait. That's enough. There's Moldova over there.
There's Hungary. So Hungary, Romania, and then Bulgaria under.
That whole region is filled with very smart people.
I know.
I mean, I can't say that just because you live there you're smart, but I've noticed that Hungarians are super smart, and that language is impossible. Right? And so that might be part of it. Romanians are super smart, right?
Yes, yeah.
Super smart. And I'm guessing Bulgaria probably also kind of smart. But that region seems to be a lot of good horsepower in the brains.
Yeah, we're kind of very resilient, very focused, very logic brained.
A lot of math.
Yeah, dude.
Clearly not
tennis.
So much. Tennis, math, not so much of the languages, but
don't give a shit.
All right.
There you go. It looks nice, though. Look at Bulgaria. It looks nice.
I want to go now. It's right by Istanbul, so I want to go there very, very badly.
Yeah, that's cool. Let's do it.
All
Once
right.
COVID's back.
You know what? We could put it up there again.
Yeah, which
Let's
one?
take a cruise.
Istanbul or?
No. See, we could stop.
I hate cruises.
It's so you don't have to pack and unpack.
But then they drop you off at the worst ports.
No,
it's
no, that's not true. That's not true.
Really?
That's not true.
If you can find a good one, we'll go with you.
Okay, all right. Because that whole region would be hard to get around. So anyway,
Greece is nice. You've been to Greece?
I've been to Greece.
Yeah, beautiful.
All right, everybody. This has been a lot of fun. We hope you had fun with us. Again, it's merchmethod.com/Tom Segura for the anal starts at 50 shirts. All. And it'll make Christine happy at least if you buy these things.
Did you call me Christine?
I don't think so. Did I?
You sure did.
Oh, did I really? Because I have Christines and Christinas in my life.
Oh my God. Tom and I were just talking about this last night.
Yeah.
He's like, people that know you call you Christine. And I'm like, really?
It's because of having too many people with that name, those names.
I need a special name.
The reason yours, because it's Christina P. It has the rhythm
Christina P.
Right, you say you wouldn't say
Will
Christine
you call me
P.
Tina?
No.
Let's come up with a new name.
No, Christina's fine. I call Christine. I deal with Christine Devine every night here on Fox 11, and I call her Christina. Okay. If it makes you feel any better.
Well, I'm going to talk to her about it.
All right. Again, it's 818-253-1693. Next week. We got a lot of clips to catch up on, so we'll get to more clips and more of your voice messages and more everything, and we'll see you then.
All conversations and information exchanged during participation of the Dr. Drew After Dark podcast or interaction on the DrDrew.com website is intended for educational and entertainment purposes only. Do not confuse this with treatment or physician medical advice or direction per se. You must always follow your medical professional's advice and direction. Nothing on these podcasts or posted on this site supplements or supersedes the relationship and direction of your medical caretakers. Please understand, I am not playing the role of physician in this environment per se. I'm educating. I am a licensed physician with specialty boards in American Board of Internal Medicine and American Board of Addiction Medicine.